Hello, everyone. I'm really glad you came to our meetup. That's a first experience for me, so I believe you will see. Thank you so much. Uh, my topic for today is Gurtam tips and tricks. That's a small short life hacks that we use in our companies, in our department and not only our departments. My name is Matvey Prupas. Last 3.5 years I'm working as a front-end engineer and full-stack engineer, mostly like front-end engineer. You will see on screenshots is my code, is my backend code, I mean. And I'm crazy about bullet lists. You will see a lot of them during my presentation. At Gurtam, I'm working with internal projects in our company, and it really matters during this presentation, during these life hacks. We don't have a lot of capacity in our team. So, briefly overview my topics for today. I'm planning to cover 4 topics. First one, reusable for components. That's our project for our internal needs. I will explain it later. Second one, Git as content source is some kind of approach that we use in few our projects. And multi-domain builds. That's also our needs to build one project in different URLs. And AI-powered code reviews, because it's impossible nowadays to leave presentation without AI. AI is everywhere. Right, I choose these topics because each of them resolves a business problem that we faced with. They are also pretty simple. And you can understand and remember them after a couple of beers during this meetup. And they might be easily reused in your projects, in your technology, because I try to make them technology agnostic, with technology agnostic approach. But first of all, I'd like to build some context between me and you, because as I told you before, internal projects has some specifications. As you can know, Gurtam has 3 main products. Gurtam makes some profit from them, and so on. And Gurtam as well has more than 300 employees, and this size of company require some internal products for successfully communication between departments, between cross-functional departments. Guys from EPAM or Vention might understand that quite good. Internal project team has capacity constraints. We have only 3 engineers in our team. 2 of us is full-stack engineers, and 1 engineer do everything that nobody can do in our company. And with this team, engineers really often handles multiple roles, like such as BA, QA, designer, and so on. We do projects without nothing, almost nothing. Challenges that for our teams that we faced, a lot of stakeholders. Honestly, each our colleagues is stakeholder, but of course we're working mostly with manager of departments, and managers of departments has their own responsibility and spend most of the times on their tasks, and really doesn't want to spend some time to our communication and help us with some requirements. So that's why we have sometimes we have unclear requirements, because even stakeholders not every time understand what they really need. Tough deadlines, that's self-explained point. We have a team of me, myself, and I. As I told you before, we have only 3 engineers, of course. And we have a lot of projects per engineer. That's 3 plus. Sometimes it might be 4, 5. They are small, but it require changing context every time. So move forward to our first project that we built few time ago. Um, our our company Gurtam had a requirement, had a need to automate, to remove some manual work for communication between departments, and we would like to automate these processes. I will explain it better with some example. Some of you know that I have a dog and I like to bring my dog in the office. And before the automation, it required to send email. To send email to administration. Administration will require some additional information. We have some conversation, some iterations with emails. It takes time. It's manual work, and email, it's not a task tracker like Jira or you track, and task might be forget. But with automation system, like we did it, we did a form constructor, and every department can spend some time to think what information they need to resolve the issue. For example, with pet visit, they require breed, vaccinations, date of visit, time of visit, and so on. Different information, who is responsible for the dog. And they create a form only once. Only once, I, as an employee, fill out the form, and after approval, I can bring my dog. Easily, automation, some kind of, yeah, after filling the form, ticket in your trucks is creating, assigned to responsible employee, and so on. What requirements we had before our project? Completely no design. Deadline approximately yesterday or maximum tomorrow, something like that. And scalability, because we started only with offices department, but as well we have legal, we have IT, employees require updating their laptops, and so on. So this is on this GIF you can see some main application, main functionality of our application, and yeah, I'll briefly explain you about it. I decided to make a web application that is responsible only for one job, for rendering JSON into the form. In that case, JSON is some kind of content for our application, and I don't care what content comes to my application. I do it. I design it only for rendering JSON. One JSON equals one form. So if I have to add additional form, remove form, update form, maintain form, I just change JSON and easily add it or remove it, and that's it. UI, my web application also as well updating automatically. And content of the page require maintenance. A lot of maintenance, a lot of stakeholders. Each department is some kind of stakeholder. A lot of discussing. Somebody decided to do some experiments with content, and so on. It requires time from our side. this is a briefly short JSON, some example for JSON. And this is one input, second input, and each input has validation rules, their own validation rules. Each input has their own props, and of course type of input. Type of input is just a string that I use as for rendering correct custom input that I created before. Pretty simple, but JSON, keep in mind, JSON is a content for us, where we can store our content. Database, point number one, database. Production usually do like that. But it requires deployment, maintenance, environment, instances, etc. In our case, it requires well to communicate with different cross-functional departments, that it requires time and so on. And second point is Git repository. I can store in another Git repository with their own commit history and version control, and it requires only software engineer. Thankfully, I'm a software engineer. And second topic, Git as a content source. One of the cases where we can store our content on the Git, it's our previous project. Second project, it's a project of our colleagues. I stolen it, and this is a project with for our main product. And the situation the same. Web application responsible only for rendering content. They doesn't care about content, what comes from the another repository. And content might have their own commit history. It's pretty useful when we trying to restore our previous stable commits. And this approach might be implemented in different projects, in different configuration of projects. This is an example of the page. Vialon is our is Gurtam's main product. It's pretty complex product, and it requires help center. Help center for help our customers to resolve their issue, a lot of documentation, like in React or somewhere else. Schematically, I show that front-end engineer doesn't know about documentation, and engineers who maintains GitHub repository with documentation doesn't care about front-end application. They don't connect anything anyhow, because documentation is second part of complex work. It's pretty complex. It has their own structure. It has 5 languages, and it requires constantly maintenance. Schematically, it works pretty simple. They have used backend between front-end application and GitHub repository with documentation. Some conclusion. Git is a simple alternative for database if you have only your own for the project. It's a simple solution for small teams, and it might used with different projects. It's just approach. It can be reusable in different projects in some different ways. It's just an idea. As you can understand, we don't have only one project in our team. This is a second type of project. We faced with some problem. You can scan some QR codes and check our portals if you need. I'll briefly explain both of them. First one, that's Gurtam. I believe all of you knows this portal because coming to this meetup require registration on the Gurtam portal. Gurtam portal is a portal for managing events. Gurtam provides a lot of events in our community, and it requires a lot of maintenance of creating different landing pages and so on. Second event that Gurtam as well that Gurtam is organizer is conference, telematics conference. It will be in September this year, and this conference require a lot of marketing work, a lot of marketing promotion work, because it's pretty expensive event, and we'd like to promote it as much as we can. So promotion require SEO best practices, as you can understand. Yeah, because search engines like Google and other rendering sitemap and robots file for understand what content this page has and what content should be parsed. That's why we decided to use SSR rendering, because of SEO best practices, and we faced with a choice: create a second build, second Kubernetes deploy, communicate with other team, or stay within one build, but somehow parsed our router, somehow parsed depending on the domain URL that we are opening our page, our project. As you can understand, because of our people capacity, we decided to stay in one build. We decided to stay in one build, and we found some life hack. We found some life hack how we will return different routes for different URLs. On this screenshot, you can see Gurtam site with a lot of pages that search engine should parse. And on this site, on the conference site, it has only one page. It's example of our sitemap XML. We did it pretty easy, honestly. It was a little bit tricky because of SSR, but we resolved that. We just use URL as a key and return correct route object in our technology. We use Quasar, but I believe in React and other Next technology, they also have something similar. So we return just correct URL object, because each site has their own routes structure, and it return rendering different pages. In conclusion, I can say that this solution require we found a solution without cross-functional dependencies, and solve this problem with only our capacity. It involves only our engineers, and this solution pretty simple and efficient, surprisingly. And finally, AI-powered code reviews. As you can remember, we don't have a lot of people, and I cannot provide qualified code review to my colleague's code. That's just impossible. I spent my time with talking with stakeholders on the previous project, and I believe not only our team has has this lack of capacity. Startups as well. It's impossible to check all this code. They require only working code, and that's it. Because in a week or in months, this code base will be rewrite completely. And we started train our own AI bot with one of our projects, and with some instructions that we gave him, it provide pretty good code review, at least for 80% of simple cases. We gave instructions such as what format of code we want to get, what format of answer in general we want to get. We use Markdown for this purpose, and we ask to add some comments in English, of course, because sometimes we are speaking in Russian with our AI bot, and comments as well in Russian. It's not really good. Right. Let's see on some couple improvements for my code that I get from our bot. On this side, I use condition in CSS code. It's not really good for debugging and so on. I did it because of speed. I'm trying to catch everything. On this screenshot, I forget about accessibility at all. But honestly, guys, who of you remember about accessibility during the development? Cool. I'm not. Cool. That's pretty good. On the screenshots, you can see that I'm mostly a front-end engineer. This is my back-end code. On this screenshot, my error handling requires some improvements, at least. On this screenshot, I violate REST principles, but I'm not really good backender. Thankfully, I have AI bot, and it helped me to figure out with my problem and potential problems. On this screenshot, I like my solution more than his improvement, honestly, because it looks understandable, it looks scalable, and I just decided to build my own components with props from Quasar components. And in that case, decision on my side. I decided to ignore AI's recommendations, and don't forget to check AI suggestions. It might be wrong, of course. And there's only one problem that I faced with this kind of code reviews. My AI bot, at least for now, cannot provide code review for whole project. So it cannot understand and review architecture overall, how I manage folders, how I manage utils and constants, do I use them understandable or no, scalable, and so on. And it cannot, of course, review my the latest features from the technologies that I use. Do I live in ES5 era, or I use modern technology from the latest updates? So guys, once you figure out how to resolve this problem, you have my LinkedIn. You can text me and help me with this problem. In conclusion, I have some ideas I'd like to share with you that I understand during my work with internal projects. First one, engineers solve business problems first of all. by writing code. So writing code is our instrument to solve the problem. First of all, we need to think about business problem and how to solve it simple, efficient, and simple and efficient solution will be smart one. Yep, in an environment with resource limitation, we can make decision more simpler from one side and keep in simple context. That's it from my side. From your side, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you so much.